Okay. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I was muted. That's my bad.
There we go.
I'm like, it's all plugged in. It's all set to work. I'm like, oh, no, you're just muted. I'll get there at some point. It's fine.
Classic.
You know, it is a Tuesday, so
Yeah. I ain't judging.
we can only expect so much.
Indeed. Oh, I've got to. Maybe we don't necessarily have to, but I'm going to.
You gotta get all your things ready.
Yeah. I'm going to see whatever the fuck this is.
I am very excited about this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it all goes well. I'm
I know
a
how
little
that is.
I'm a little nervous to tell my first story, but we're gonna do it.
It's gonna be fine.
Are you
It'll
sure?
be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. I'm so
It's gonna be
scared.
just fine.
Okay, if you're sure.
I am sure.
And I I'm glad that we were actually able to get this started a little earlier, even though we're technically starting later. I've been up since a little before 5 a.m.
No. That's early.
It's sort of by choice because you may or may not be aware that like when Christmas starts, we do insane hours. So we have to get into the office at 6 and we just deliver packages for like 2 hours. Then we come back, we do our regular day, and okay. We'll see if Samus is okay. What are you? You're just gonna whine about my food. All right. Well, if you can stay there, you can. If you can be quiet, you'll be all right. Anyways,
she wants to be involved. Come on.
She really wants the food. Yeah, you want the puff pastry, don't you? Oh, she's so excited.
She does. She wants a little snack.
But anyways, we got to notice that we started our hours on Saturday. Because with Veterans Day, they wanted to get a jump on packages because we were closed. So I went in at 6 on Saturday, and then we knew Monday was going to be bad, so I went in at 6 on Monday, and they had a notice by the time clock like, "Hey, we're starting our Christmas hours, so be here at 6." So I got up. So I woke up a little before 5 this morning. I took my shower, got my coffee, got into work a few minutes late. And I noticed that nobody else was there. And I was like, what? What the fuck is going on? And I put my stuff down and I'm like, all the trucks are here. So it's not like everybody got in here way fast.
Not show up?
Yeah. And so before I did bothered anyone with a bunch of questions, I went back to the time clock and looked at the flyer again. And I did read correctly that it said starting Monday, we're going to be doing these hours. But I did not finish the sentence that said just Mondays. Like each Monday we're going to do it. I was like, oh, God damn it.
It was just Mondays and not starting Monday through the rest of time until we've decided we don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah. And it is a decent likelihood that like after Thanksgiving or something, it will end up being every day.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just what we did at my old office. Like once we started the early start times, that was it. Yeah, that was it for the rest of the Christmas season until they told, like we would be into February. Last year, we were almost into March when we finally stopped coming in at 5:30 in the morning.
It took a while.
Yeah. So, oh, right. We were recording then. So that makes sense.
We were. And you're like, I've been up since before time. Yeah. I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
So it's so luckily I get to sleep in a little bit tomorrow, relatively speaking. Nice. And then I'm off on Thursday, so I'll get to rest, but yeah, it's been a bit of a day.
I understand how that goes. I feel like I work all the time now.
Yeah.
Just since I currently have the 2 part-time jobs.
Oh, right.
I've been having some more hours at what I call my day job, which is the real estate investment firm marketing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, yesterday I was there a regular 9 to 5, and then I'm doing that on Friday because we're having our Thanksgiving party, which I'm excited about. But then I have my freelancing stuff, and then I get home and I'm like, it is 6 o'clock and I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Absolutely.
which has led to me working on like Saturdays, because when I have days like that, I'm like, I don't want to be working for another 2 hours until like 8 o'clock tonight. I want to relax and like do other things.
Well, and doing this kind of brought me back to college and made me remember just how like of a procrastinator I can be. Because like I'd sit down in an afternoon and like especially after work, and I'm like, I don't want to write anything. And I'm like, I don't feel like researching. Yeah, but I'm like, do this. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to start with like some YouTube videos. And the whole point is I'm going to try to find info about this particular person. I just pull up YouTube, like the just opening splash page, and there's already so many other things that like my mind gets distracted, and I'm like, ooh, another like murder case. Oh boy. Or like, hey, is that a series of cat videos? Yeah, and then it's
cat videos.
It's already yeah, they do. And they got good compilations, and they're like 20 minutes long sometimes. And then I've started getting into the fail army videos, and those are fun because people are
those are funny.
Yeah. And then it's 11 o'clock, and I'm like, I should have already gone to bed an hour ago.
Like, oh no, the time is gone.
Yeah. Oops. And then it was like Saturday night, and I'm like, I have to finish writing this goddamn shit. And anyway.
To be fair, I felt like that. I think I felt like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do, and it's so time consuming. But then I guess with practice, doing it more, I'm like, oh, it takes me like a few hours. Done.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
I'm like, am I just more efficient, or do I procrastinate less? I have yet to figure that out.
That's I mean, I suppose it's been a year now, so I suppose that would stand to reason. You kind of just build a discipline for it, and you just get better at it.
I am just very disciplined now.
Yeah, I am not. But it got done, so hooray! Yes. And speaking of a year, hello everybody, and welcome.
Hello.
This is the Peculiar Pairings podcast. I almost fucked up the whole thing. I'm that like in my head about it.
We've only been doing this for a year.
Yeah, and shut up. Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Celine. Welcome. Hello.
And this is something of a special episode because this is this is our like 1 year anniversary show.
It is.
It's so exciting. And I'm just a little timid.
I'm excited. I'm going to say...
Me too.
It's also... I want to say this was going to be like our 30th episode. But then since we added the Delphi murders, it'll be 31.
Oh, no. Oh, great. Okay.
It's a close second, but hey, I think... I think an update in a case is kind of worth it.
Absolutely. And 31, we got a 1 in there for the 1 year anniversary.
There we go. Yeah.
So it works. I mean, it's fine. Yeah. When we do another year anniversary, it can be like 62 or whatever it ends up being.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll make it work.
So it's been good. So before we get into the topic, would you like to tell us about what our treat is?
Yes. So the pairings I have today.
I guess, sorry, before we jump in exactly, the whole reason that this is like, we kind of reversed things a little bit. Yeah. So
we did.
We talked about what we wanted to do to like mark the 1 year thing, and we decided to do a sort of flip the script. We're doing a pairing peculiarly, I guess you could call it.
I am picking our pairing, and Matt's telling our story.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little nervous, because I haven't done this before. I haven't been on this side. So, Anyways, I didn't mean to very rudely interrupt you, but I figured like we should explain what the fuck is going on.
Yes. So the pairings I picked based off of our topic is a Sam Adams beer, in
Nice.
which Gabriel so kindly picked out the cherry wheat because it is
Oh.
seasonal, and he thought it would be nice, and it is.
Oh, well, that's good.
I have been enjoying it.
It's garbage.
It's kind of got like a nice fall feel to it, so I've been enjoying it. I'm like,
Sweet.
I like these.
I had a longer than expected time at the place of liquor. I was just looking for the standard Boston Lager. I realized too, I have not had Sam Adams since early college days. You know, kind of back in the age when you're still sort of developing a taste for beer, and I remember not liking it at all. And I realized just now that like I hadn't really developed my palate for beer, and I find it to be quite good actually. It's quite refreshing. It's crisp. But I at first could only find non-alcoholic Sam Adams. I even took a picture, and I almost gave up, and then I realized that it was just in this other set. Like I was just in the wrong spot, yeah. And I was like, it shouldn't be this hard to. It's a pretty big beer. I mean, it's known, you know, far and wide. It shouldn't be this hard to find, but it was a very harrowing adventure.
Interesting. And then our food pairing is a blue cheese bacon onion tart.
Yeah.
Which I picked based on the last name of the person we were talking about because I thought his last name sounded fancy. So I wanted a treat that sounded like posh and fancy. And I was like, tarts. And that's how I picked it.
When you first said that, I'm like, well, that doesn't sound like his last name at all. Like, it has some of the same letters, but like not in the order. And they were like, just sounds fancy. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I got you. That makes sense. I thought at first, like, because like when we get into it, you'll see it's like kind of the colonies, New England sort of thing. I thought you were going for like a Massachusetts, like Philadelphia theme.
I thought about that.
Well, and it works. We got cream cheese in here, and there's caramelized onions and bacon, and
mine had blue cheese. I don't know what you did with cheese.
I took your suggestion. For anyone listening, do not hate me. I do not like blue cheese. I do not like it. Sam, I am. I do not like it with green eggs and ham. Yeah, it's weird because I've had it enough times. I feel like I can confidently just say it's not like I've never had enough or like not good blue cheese. It's just it's almost like ranch, but then like it sat out too long. I don't know, because it's not like I won't eat it at all. Like I won't pick it off or anything. I'll just be a little disappointed if I'm like, oh, it's blue cheese. Okay, I mean, I'll take it, but yeah, like
I'll take it, but like fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that really shitty way of like, do you have anything else? No, it's just okay. Okay, fine. That's fine.
Okay,
yeah,
it's fine.
If that's all you have, if that's all you have,
it's fine. Like I will live. It's fine.
It's like when you order Coke and they're like, we only have Pepsi, and you're like, okay, fine. If that's all you have, like if that's okay. But I will say I normally save my first bites for when we actually start recording. I have to say, I kind of hate you because this may be the best treat that we've had. It was, and you were right, it looked a little intimidating when you first sent me the thing, but I also didn't realize that you could, and I've watched enough cooking shows and stuff, I didn't realize you could just like go and get puff pastry. I've never cooked with it at all. It is. It's like I love Danishes. I didn't realize that that's basically all it is. You just put some freaking cream cheese in the middle of a puff pastry and then you put it in the oven. Boom, you got an awesome little breakfast thing.
That was also my learning experience with this. I was like, oh, and I'm like, well, I feel kind of dumb now that I could have been doing this for like how long?
Yeah, that's exactly what I haven't. And I just used a little pizza cutter and it rolls out in a nice little sheet. And I kind of looked at the pictures of what they're sort of going for. And I'm like, oh, I can just cut it. And it cut like a dream. You pull it off, you put it on the pan. It was so easy. I imagine that actually like making the dough is probably time consuming.
Yeah,
It's so
that
light
is
and crispy.
that is the part
But
that's a lot harder, and I am
yeah.
okay with not doing that step.
Yeah. And well, and Lily was very kind. She while I was at work, she caramelized the onions and crisped up
Aw.
the bacon for me. Yeah, so like I didn't even have to do that. And after that, like it literally takes 3 minutes to just put together, and then you put it in the oven for 15, and you're done. And it is pretty delicious. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's great. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll save the full description and the ratings for the end, but suffice
Yeah.
to say, I'm not disappointed. I guess what I was leading up to is I couldn't help but take a bite when it was like hot and fresh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I made mine like last week like I normally do, but I do have the beer in front of me today. And as I was making mine, I had to switch mine up a little bit because I had everything ready. And then because we got stuck in Indiana, I wasn't able to make everything right away. So then the bacon went bad.
Oh
I'm
no!
Like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, what goes good with onions and cheese? And I was like, apples. That makes sense. Yeah. And it actually was quite tasty.
Okay.
I was surprised with myself because I used like a sweet balsamic glaze to help like caramelize the onions and like give it more of a sweetness. And I used a sweet onion, so that helped too. And I was like, oh, I don't think I would do this flavor combination again necessarily. I'm like, but I can see how the flavors generally come together. And I'm like, and bacon goes with like everything. So that would just make this better.
Yeah, I have to admit, when you first sent me those pics, I didn't quite know what was happening, and then you're like, I used apples, and I was like, somebody's going vegan or something. I assumed you made a swap. I was like, I thought you like used that instead of the cheese or something.
No, the cheese is very much on there.
Wow, instead of the bacon. Well, I must say, I can't even imagine what it must be like with apples. Although with the right cheese and there's cream cheese in there and stuff, I imagine it was delicious. I do highly recommend giving it another go with the bacon because it is fantastic.
That is my goal in the next few weeks, although we're currently in Thanksgiving mode and preparing for all of our feasts. So I think after that, I will get everything for it again and have a second attempt.
I might actually bring this to maybe not Thanksgiving night, but when I go over to Dad and Mimi's, I might bring the stuff, and because I don't know what else I'm going to use the rest of the puff pastry for, so I'm like, may as well make it again.
Yeah.
But I also forgot to mention the whole thing about like the blue cheese rant. I ended up using Gruyere.
Good. I'm glad that suggestion worked.
It did. It really did. I was glad you gave me a suggestion because otherwise I wouldn't have known what to do, really, where to go with it. And the instructions.
I love cheese.
It's good cheese. Well, so I'm really not much of a fan of Swiss and things that I've had with Swiss on there. It's okay, but I honestly just can't get over the smell. It has such a strong odor and not a good one. Yeah, and so when I opened the Gruyere and started slicing it, it has almost an identical smell. And it's not quite as strong, but I'm like, I don't know about this. Yeah,
the flavor profile's a little different though, so I feel like it's a different cheese.
No, honestly, it worked out fantastically. Because when it was cooking, there's something about like the odor kind of dies down.
Yeah.
But the flavor is still very present, and it works perfectly with the onions and the bacon. It's oh my god, it was so good. I have to admit, it's my only it worked out really well. So I appreciate the suggestion, and the gonna have to start upping my treat game, I guess, because it even just looks nice. Like it goes together so well, and it's so picturesque. It turned out perfectly like crisp and like golden brown. So
yes, I will post the recipe so anyone can follow along at home and make their own.
Yeah.
Bacon or no bacon?
Bacon or no, yeah. And well, we both ended up switching some things
Yeah.
about it, and it worked out anyways. So
Yeah.
I think the next thing I might try to do with it, like especially now that I've discovered the simplicity of puff pastry, I might try to make like little pizza bite things because it would.
Ooh, that would
Yeah,
be good and tasty.
I also wasn't expecting it to like hold its shape so well, but especially once it
Yeah.
cools off a bit, it really. I cut them into like little triangles, and it made a perfect little sort of pizza slice. So I bet it'd be good. I bet it'd be real good.
I would say so. So Matt, what is our topic today?
Okay, so today we are talking about the legendary, unbelievably skilled gentleman who goes by the name of Samuel Whittemore. To start off, I just wanted to say that I was a little leery about doing this, and I mean like both the idea of us swapping roles and also this story in particular, because a lot of the things that I find interesting, I obviously know a lot about like through YouTube videos and other
Yeah.
podcasts. And so the idea to do this swap is from other podcasts, and like this topic I've heard other people cover. So I was a little worried about like it just feels like I'm copying other people, and it felt kind of weird, but I finally came around to like allowing myself to do it, so to speak, just because I realized that a lot of the stories that we talk about, a lot of the stories that a lot of people learn to love and stuff, they get almost like a celebrity status as a story, like certain serial killers and like heists, and the one that we talked about, the other case that was like closed, the man, what's his name?
The Somerton Man.
Thank you. Yeah. I realized that like I learned about that kind of thing by watching dozens of other videos. So it's like multiple people can cover the same topics.
Yeah.
You bring your own flair to it.
Exactly.
It's fine. Yeah, these stories gain prominence, and people gain followers and stuff by covering topics that other people are interested in. So with that in mind, I'm just going to say blatantly that without the dollop, I would likely never have even heard about this person, because it's definitely the first place that I heard about him. And I would likely not be doing this specifically, like presenting the story. And so I am honored to take the interest that they sparked in me and hopefully pass it on to new listeners. So hopefully I do it justice. And with that, I will just say that I've got my sources here, an article from SoFrep, I don't know, .com by Steve Balestrieri, US Patriotic Tactic LA.com, allthingsliberty.com, an article by Katie Turner Getty, New England Historical Society.com, founders.archives.gov, whatever a Google site is. I didn't know that these were a thing, but specifically sites.google.com /site/Whittemore Samuel Shunk. That's kind of weird. I don't know. I had a lot of good timeline stuff about him, but
Dang.
American-history.net, history.com, a decent amount of Wikipedia, and of course a huge nod again to the dollop. Not as much in this case for like inspiration, but it was really helped me kind of figure out certain bullet points that I wanted to hit. And one final note, I would also like to point out that I am in no way a professional reporter or researcher or whatever, and this is meant to be an entertaining podcast with all of us hopefully learning some things along the way. But with that in mind, I just wanted to say that if I've made any grave errors, I apologize in advance. Please feel free to send comments and angry emails to correct me. Thank you.
Yes, we are always happy to correct ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm also new to this side of the podcast, so I'm not sure how long this is going to end up being. I was going to text you and see like how many pages you end up doing, like what your spacing is. I ended up just going with normal space, and the default in Google Docs is 11 font. So
yeah,
we'll see.
It depends on the episode. That is about what I can tell you, because I've had anything ranging from like 4 pages to I've had a few that are 8 to 12.
Yeah, and
it really just depends.
Right, and I know that one that you had you said was only like 3, and that ended up being a shorter episode, but it still ended up being like 40 minutes or something. So that's a decent length. I mean,
just
I have a number of
our little razzle dazzle.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm like, as I was going back through it, I'm like, this feels like too many pages. Maybe I'm like, we might fill in plenty of gaps, but we'll go through it. We'll see how long it is, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will figure it out as we go, because that is what we do.
That is what we do. Yeah, and without any further ado, really long intro, I present to you the story of whom I think should be officially dubbed the most badass American in history, a title that I used to reserve for a gentleman by the name of Hugh Glass, also another Dollop episode, really good. But
An amazing episode.
Oh, it's really good. We can talk more about him at another time. This is the life of one Samuel Whittemore.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Okay. Well, and to start off, it's interesting that I would say one Samuel Whittemore because he was actually the third of 4 Samuels in his family. He was born. Yeah, he was born into a family with a father Samuel, a brother Samuel, and he had his own Samuel in the future. So he's like junior, and then he had a kid, junior. Plus, he had a brother. So I don't know if can you have 2 juniors? I don't know how that works.
Was one of them like Samuel E and then Samuel F?
That's a good
question. Or
question.
Did they go by middle names? Because that
I didn't find that about his brother.
What would you name your children the same names? I mean, I understand when you have a lot of kids, they start to run together, but why?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know George Foreman did that kind of thing, and I don't think any of them were specifically junior. So maybe you just. I mean, you don't even bother with it at that point if you're going to have that many of them.
I mean, Vincent van Gogh's parents did that, but his brother also died before he was born.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of weird.
Well, so that's a lot of Samuels and a lot of people already, but his parents, Samuel and Hannah, were recorded as having at least 3 sons and 7 daughters. I didn't find anything that was more specific. The articles that I found used the words "at least," and I'm like, how do you have "at least"? And then I wasn't sure if it "at least" applied to both the daughters and the sons, but anyways, it's a lot of kids.
Or is it that those are just the kids that survived?
That's what I was wondering too.
So a certain age?
You could be right because I think that is specifically why they have 3 and 7 is those are the ones that they know at least made it presumably to adolescence.
Or at least the age of 5.
Yeah. One where they've developed their own personality, and you can tell what kind of person they're going to grow into, and then they die because it's olden times and they needed a lot of kids to do farming and stuff.
And because kids died. They just died.
Did. Well, and he was actually one of the youngest siblings out of the kids, and well, that wasn't particularly remarkable. What is that his parents were pushing 50 when he was born. His mother was 44, and his father was 49. So, especially for a time in history when a lot of people barely made it past 40, and they're still having kids. And I think he had 2 sisters after it. So, his dad would have been in his 50s when he had more kids, and that's. I mean, that's
to have a child at 44 now is okay.
It would still make the news. It's still kind of an odd thing.
Well, because you only have so much time as a woman.
Well, even if she started having kids when she was, we'll just say her most prime time, whatever
age that was then.
Even getting into your 40s, you've already had basically, a decade's worth of kids.
Yeah.
It just, at a certain point, you just be like, we're done. I think I'm done with this.
We say this coming from a family where there's 8 children. Yes. And I don't even know what the age gap between your dad and Marcia is. But I know between your dad and my mom, it's 10 years. So I don't even know at that point.
Yeah, that tradition of having a lot of kids really stuck around for quite a long time. Some people still do it, but the usual is 2 to 3 these days, and
it is.
That
is typical.
Indeed. He was born on July 7th of July in 1696. There are some conflicting numbers. I saw some that said 1695, 1694, but pre-1700s. And that was in Charleston, Middlesex. I thought it was funny. Massachusetts Bay Colony of British America.
British America.
Indeed, the colonies. Yeah, that's what they call it. I'm like, I don't know if I've ever heard it called British America.
I have not.
And one thing that annoyed me about the Dollop episode when I first listened to it, the main story reader guy, Dave, he specifies like, not much happens in his early life until he's about 50, so we'll just jump to there. And I'm like, you're just gonna cut out the whole like first half? You know,
the first half of his life didn't matter, Matt.
What the hell? Yeah, like what the fuck? And I'm like, well, if I ever have the opportunity to do an episode, I'm going to do a whole thing. I'm going to tell his full out story, and I'm going to give a true telling of his full life. And that time is here. My hubris has caught up with me, and I have to admit that there really does not seem to be much info in his younger days. So I will apologize.
Do him justice, and he let me down and did nothing.
Exactly. I apologize to the listeners. I apologize to the Dollop. I literally pretty much every site that I found, every like source was just like, and not much is known about his early days. So let's just jump to the later 1700s. And it's like, wait, what? Nobody knows. How do we even know this is the right guy?
He existed. The end.
Mm-hmm. So there again, if I get anything wrong, if anyone has any more definitive info, please enlighten me.
Anybody knows something, hit us up.
Yeah, and to start off, even his birthplace is in contention.
Interesting.
Yeah, there are some sources that say he was born in England. Some claim, like here that he was born in Massachusetts, and some say that his origins can't officially be placed at all. But one of the sources I found actually had a record of colonial people in Massachusetts at the time that included the name Samuel Whittemore, born in the late 1600s. So I'm going to go with that. So for the purposes of our telling, he was born in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts.
Regardless, it's fun to say.
It is fun.
I'm not sure that I ever want to go there, but it's fun to say. Actually, I've heard it's beautiful. I should visit. Should do more traveling in general.
I will visit Tori there at some point.
Oh, that's right.
When I'm not poor.
Right, yeah. Oh, money. You son of a bitch.
Yeah. So he's in Massachusetts.
Right. Regardless of confusion over him starting as an American or as a Brit, his date of birth doesn't seem to be disputed, other than not exactly the exact year. But either way, it means little Sammy was born into a rather tumultuous time, just shy of the turn of the century, with the early 1700s bringing about Queen Anne's War. This occurs when Charles II, King of Spain, dies in 1700. He had no heirs, and he left a vacant throne to be fought over, which is, of course, what happens. And it led to a large European war that eventually spread to North America. Although the war...
fun?
Yeah, and that seems to be a running theme that'll keep coming up. Like, Europe always has all these problems, and they're like, well, let's not fight on our own land. Let's go over there. Let's fuck up the new world.
We don't need to fight here in our land and hurt our people. But let's take it across the pond.
Please,
we don't care about them anyway.
Please only speak in accents from now on. Just forever. Like, we're going to talk about France and Spain. You switch it up however you feel, but I want to hear them all. That was
I will do
amazing.
My best.
Oh, I cannot wait. Oh my god. Okay, although the war included France and Spain, the fighting in America was between the British and the French. This could have been something that impacted little Samuel as the war came to a close during his adolescence in 1713. The British would ultimately win the conflict, resulting in a treaty with France. This gained them new territories and more power in the Americas. Of course.
I mean, they always fight with each other, so are we surprised?
Oh
no.
God, I know I had a lot of history classes, but I don't think I paid enough attention. I don't think I ever realized just how many times France and Britain. Oh my god. just doesn't frickin' stop. Even we're not even going through that long a time frame, like in this particular story, and it's just back and forth like 5 times. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, this is colonial America, so more fighting is never far behind. As the Yamasee War starts up in 1715, although Britain had won new territories from France, those territories were already, unsurprisingly, occupied by natives. And these natives, yeah, who'd have thought? Yeah, you come to a new world, and
who would have
and
thought? People already lived here.
but of course, this is a similar kind of, not like manifest destiny necessarily, but the idea of like, well, what are these people doing here? This is our land. We have claimed it. You shouldn't be here.
This for the king.
Mm-hmm.
So
For France
you need
and
to just
Britain.
fuck right off, because this is ours.
And here comes my French. Here comes my French. Oui.
Oui.
Oui. Oh, then that is you bastard.
This land belongs to us.
Yes. French is pretty fun.
It is fun.
So these natives were
Roti language.
It's fun to say. It's fun to do. I like the sound of it. I like to play with the words. And as they say in America, anywho, the natives were none too happy about their newest occupiers and immediately went to war. Yeah, they immediately went to war with South Carolina colonists led by the Yamasee tribe, hence the name. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm doing my best.
You can only do your best.
Well, and I didn't bother to look it up, so there you go.
I didn't look it up, so that's
thinking just now I probably could have done that, but I'm gonna assume it's spelled relatively phonetically, so we'll just move on. Although the natives destroyed multiple settlements and many British, they sadly lost the overall war by 1717. So it's a relatively short war. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where I go all dollop on this fucking thing, because of course more war broke out in 1722, 1725, 1729, so on and so forth. I'm going to yada over a little bit of it. By now, we get the picture of how British rule went. It's nothing but a bunch of battles. And this leads them going to a bunch of debt, but, you know, they're maintaining their colonies, they're expanding, they're getting more land. Yeah. This is when our good old boy, Samuel Whittemore, really hits the scene. And I really love how Google, the Google site I found says it, quote, King George's War from 1744 to 1748, also known as the War of Austrian Succession, marked the unleashing of Samuel Whittemore onto North America. Whether he was...
He's unleashed?
I love it, yeah.
He's just like some wild animal just like left out into the open, and they're like, we got this nice little secret weapon over here. We're just gonna open the door.
I imagine...
There he goes. Oh, look, there he goes. Oh.
Oh boy, he's scurrying. He's not supposed to scurry. Get him back here. I'm going to go.
No.
Why is he naked? Do you not give him a uniform?
You know, that's just what those Americans do. We don't really know.
I do like the idea, though, of him just being, like, caged in a little, or, like, chained up in a little cage, and they're like...
He's, like, locked in someone's basement somewhere.
Release the Whittemore. And there he goes, and he just goes and
release the Whittemore. Release him.
I don't know why I was going to, like, release the Whittemore. Release him! The stupid thing is
he's now involved. We don't know why. He's a star.
The stupid thing is I was going for French, and when I started with release, I was like, I'm not going French. I'm like, I'm going to roll with it. Fuck it.
It's too late now.
Yeah. He would eventually make the rank of captain among His Majesty's Dragoons. These were also called mounted infantry, which are not to be confused with the usual cavalry, although they did ride horses, but they neither had the better weapons of foot soldiers, like regular infantry, nor the better horses of cavalry, not to mention the armor of cavalry, so they were just kind of shit. But
they're like the C-list of the military.
Yeah,
Saying.
I didn't put this here, but
we don't want to spend our resources on like our really great people, so we're gonna send in like the leftovers.
no, I didn't put this in here, but they literally even had different like ranks of just the dragoons, the mounted infantry,
Oh.
because like if you were really good as a foot soldier, you got to ride a horse, but you weren't cavalry yet. So they had like a lower tier, a lower tier, a mid tier, and then a high tier, because if you were cavalry and you were bad, you would get demoted. But they're not just gonna throw you into the lowly fucking infantry. No. You get shittier horse. We're gonna give you a crappier gun, maybe not even a gun. I didn't find anything that specified what the early dragoons had, but yeah, it was weird. It was just sort of a weird middle ground of like, well, show us what you can do on a horse, and then maybe you'll get to be the cavalry. You
we
suck
make
as
no
cavalry.
Promises.
Yeah, it's like the tier list of like baseball teams. So it's like you're gonna go down to AA, and we'll see what you can do. We're gonna bring you up from infantry, and we're gonna put you in AA and see how you do. If you do good, we're gonna bring you up to the big game. You're gonna get a sweet ass horse, a gun.
We gave you a gun. Good luck.
Yeah, I do like that, because there again, I didn't find anything that specified what the difference was in equipment between the infantry and the cavalry, like the steps that it was. But I just imagine that they're like, okay, infantry, get on that horse. Oh, you can't hold that gun? Well, here's a pistol. It sort of works. It's not going to be as accurate, but we'll just get used to shooting from a horse, and then you can figure it out. Oh, you're doing pretty good. Here's an actual musket. Now you're in the cavalry. And I can imagine it would be confusing, just like trying to work your way up the ranks. But
I feel like they had some variation of a musket, but I also know
like that.
very little about guns, so I am not the person to ask.
Well, that's why I wish I could have found it, because I imagine they used what is called a blunderbuss, kind of the shotgun of the age with a giant fucking like cannon barrel, essentially.
Oh, damn.
And they would just stuff it full of shit, so you didn't even have to aim. So I imagine that like if you were in the cavalry, just go out there and have fun. Just the cavalry you have to train, but the fucking mounted infantry, they just fucking go whatever, do whatever they want. Eventually, the Swedish would outfit their mounted infantry, and this kind of spread throughout the world. They gave them a saber and a matchlock musket.
What?
I don't know if that is any better than like a flintlock musket or a flintlock pistol kind of design.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it said, and the dragoons would eventually become elite units in the British Army, and this is the group to which Samuel belonged. And dragoon is just a cool fucking name. I mean, it's just...
It is. I am most familiar with dragoons from watching Outlander. And that's
no shit!
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta watch that show. It's been in my Netflix queue like for forever.
It is good.
That is what I've heard. And it's gone strong for a number of years. So like a show usually doesn't last all that long if it's not at least a little good.
I think they for sure have 8 seasons. They haven't recorded all of them, but they signed on for 8.
Holy shit, that's a lot. I thought it was like 4 or 5. God damn.
No,
I gotta get caught up.
I think they've recently finished filming the 7th, and they're going to start the 8th soon. I think.
Well, I do like having a show to binge. That's what, like, when I became a fan of Supernatural, they were already on, like, season 12, I think. Mm-hmm. And I felt kind of like a poser for like, discovering them literally a decade after they were created. And then a buddy of mine was like, well, you watched from episode 1, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, then you're a fan? Fuck it. It's not like you started in the middle and just said, now I love Supernatural. It's like, you put the time, you watched all of it. I'm like, you're right, I did. That's what binging TV is for. I watched 10 seasons of Friends in a month, so that's the same as watching all of them broadcast live.
It works.
The only dragoons I know of is from Final Fantasy IV, and it was a very different thing. He wore armor and he had a spear and he would jump. So it was like he was sort of like a I don't know where the term dragoon comes from. I also did not look that up, but it's a cool name.
It is a cool name.
In 1745, Samuel, as part of the dragoons, ended up in a siege on the fortress of Louisbourg. Samuel led a group of dragoons in a charge on the shores of Nova Scotia against the French. There's no record of what actually happened when he was inside the fortress, but this is the first sign of his almost hilariously badass nature, as he would eventually appear bearing an ornately adorned French saber. Anyone asking him about it would simply be told by him that the prior wielder of the sword had, quote, died suddenly. And
well,
so he...
you never know with the French.
Excuse me, sir. Is that your sword? Could you die, please? I would like to take the sword. Yeah. So.
I like your sword.
Yeah. He charges into a battle. I imagine among smoke and flames and dramatic cannon fire. Yeah. And when he comes out, it's just like no big deal. Yeah, I got this sick ass sword. It's the damnedest thing too. Dude just keeled over.
Souvenir.
Fucking weird, right? Yeah. It's fucking weird. Guy just died. I'm gonna take it. I mean, I'm gonna take it. The guy dies, I'm gonna take his thing.
He's dead now, so it's mine.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. He's dead. It's fine. He just died, and I'm gonna take it. Britain had seemingly tired of endless battle at this point and turned to more monetary actions, passing the Iron Act in 1750. It removed.
What is that?
Yeah, it sounds so cool.
It sounds either like an iron fist in like a bad way, or something really cool. And I'm leaning towards this maybe kind of sucked.
It's so boring. It's a tax. In the most British move ever, they get the coolest sounding act of all time. And it just removed taxes on American exports of iron to Britain. Yeah, it's like if you're in the military and something's named Operation Phoenix, and it just changes the way like classification of documents works. That's it, and it's like, oh,
you're like, this is life changing. It's done. Yeah. It's gonna change the world.
Operation Phoenix.
Is it?
And it's just it's a bunch of nerds in a boardroom who are just like, so we're going with Operation Phoenix, right? I mean, I guess so. We're just shredding. We're just shredding and taping back together shredded documents. I mean, we're not even using actual fire, so it's
like,
Project
so this person shredded everything when they left, so your job is to get all the pieces and put it back together. And they're like, Operation Phoenix, you got it. And you're like,
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, but you didn't burn it before. It's not like it's rising from the ash. Shut up, dude! Don't ruin this for me. This is the first operation I get to fucking name. I'm calling it Operation Phoenix.
Oh, man.
Dude, we're not even moving offices. This isn't even a real operation. No one's going to ever read that you called it.
We're in the conference room. And they're like, let me have this. Let me have this, Janet.
Like he thinks they're in like a military zone. It's like, no, you guys, you're in frickin' DC, just in a conference room. Whatever, Operation Phoenix. Cool.
Whatever.
So,
it's fine.
Yeah. Iron Act. Yeah. So normally the British would pay a certain amount for importing it, and now they don't pay shit. And it restricted American colonies from actually using any of the iron themselves, and forced them to send it back to Britain in its raw form. So they're literally just like, give it, don't touch it, You got it out of the ground, cool. Don't do anything, don't refine it, don't you do anything, just give it to us. It's fine.
They're like, oh, I see it. You found something over that. That's mine now. Just hand it over.
Dibs.
No, you're not getting anything for it, but it's mine.
Yeah, it's like, no, you don't get paid for it.
Come on now.
Yeah, this actually marks the beginning of several taxations that would anger the Americans into revolution, and you can kind of see why. Because like, if they did this once, you'd be like, well, this is at the point where they still sort of see themselves as colonists and like
they see
British citizens.
As Brits.
Right.
More than like an entirely different thing.
Well, we do want to help the motherland, so here you are.
I guess it's fine.
Thank you, I'll take that. Oh, Mommy, see what I got from the Americans. Just like, wait, was that Samuel Whittemore?
Look what I got from the colonies. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love it. I'm going to go frolic in the field again. Who let him out of his cage?
We don't know.
They don't know. He just keeps getting out. And they're like, fucking put him back. God damn it. He got out again. No, don't pee on the love seat. Oh, god damn it. He's peeing everywhere. Gotta get
they
fixed.
do that.
Jesus. They do that. They just fucking first thing. Yeah, right out of the gate. They just can't help themselves. Fucking little bastards. So surprising absolutely no one, after their first, I think it ended up being like, no, not even a decade, a few years, Britain decides it wants more war. And more than that, they want more war with the French. 1754 brings with it the French and Indian War. It officially began at the Battle of Jumonville Glen, or Jumonville Glen, I don't know. Probably a French name. Anyways, this is where a young George Washington would join with a group of Virginia militiamen to ambush a French patrol. And after so many years of back and forth conflict, it would seem that this would be the final engagement. Like, this war, both sides have concluded that the other one must go. Like, one of them is just going to get America. This is going to be it. Yeah. And although the French would win many initial victories, the British would once again eventually prove victorious. Their downfall may have been in 1757 as they fended off a new assault by the British on the same fortress of Louisbourg. And seeing the initial British defeat, Samuel decided to rejoin the ranks of the crown. He's back, baby. Took a few years off. He's back to crush Louisbourg. In 1758, the British returned again. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the third time they're sieging the fortress. But this time was significantly more successful. Under Commander James Wolfe, Sammy charged into battle once again, wielding the very saber he claimed from the same fortress from which it was retrieved before, and forced the French to surrender finally. Wow. I can't necessarily say that Whittemore single-handedly changed the course of the war, but Britain was doing bad before him, and after they got Sammy involved, they're doing great. So I'd like to think that he essentially pushed back the French by himself.
I agree with that. I think that's a great assumption.
Yeah, it's just the beginning of his legend. I'm building, I'm painting a story of this epic figure. So I'm assuming he just went in there just swinging that fucking thing around, and the French were like, we can't take. No, I went German again. Wie geht's?
We're like, sacré bleu.
There you go. Thank you.
What are they doing? American.
You see that? The glint of that saber. It is so bright. It almost looks. Oh, could it be? It is French. Oh no, we could not be defeated by our own saber. God damn it! I went German again.
I start French and then I'm German.
I was really not trying to do that.
C'est tragique.
Yeah. Incroyable. I'm going to leave the French to you. The fortress was an incredibly strategic outpost, good for launching attacks. It was an active harbor, and losing it spelled the end for the French in Canada. The British eventually moved on to Quebec to win the war, and with the Treaty of Paris, the French would be forever expelled from the land. Au revoir. Oh, I did it!
Au revoir. We'll be back.
Adios? That's not France.
No, that is Spanish.
They're even taking our language from us.
Oh no.
The outrage. The British were so goddamn done with that fucking fortress. They wanted to ensure that another siege would never be possible. And how would they do that, you might ask?
Well, down.
By completely destroying it. They ordered to have it completely destroyed. Yeah, Whittemore reportedly stayed on to help with the destruction, and he wouldn't leave until it was utterly gone.
That is so funny.
Oh God, I like to envision that he was just sitting in like a lawn chair with sunglasses on, drinking like a Mai Tai or something, and just like, I know that none of this is like period correct, but he's like smoking a big cigar, and then like a wrecking ball comes through and just like destroys one wall, and he just starts laughing. He's laughing so hard he's spilling his drink. but you know,
Yeah.
it can be anachronistic and still be a fun image.
I like to think of it as, Mummy,
Mummy,
I've got this fortress and I don't want them to have it. Mummy, do something.
From his little cage, he has the one little slat that he opens up and he goes, Mummy, there.
Mummy.
Can I come out to destroy the castle, Mummy?
I want to burn it down, Mummy. That is what I think of as like a child being upset that someone else had it, and they're like, "Well, I don't want anyone to have it."
I like that yours is more posh, like the just pompous, like private school dickhead, like Mummy. If I can't have it, then nobody can, Mummy.
With just channel Draco Malfoy, Daddy.
Daddy. Well, my daddy says that
my father hears about this.
My father hears about this. You bloody muggles.
I do have a very posh accent. That is true.
It works perfectly. So you would hope that after destroying an entire fortress, this would lead to a certain era of peace in the area. But as we have learned, as is their custom, the British continued into more conflict.
Yep.
Not necessarily their fault, as apparently the natives much preferred the presence of the French and were not super excited that the British completely removed them. Man. Yeah, they were pretty cordial.
Could you imagine that being like, God damn, like, I maybe thought this would have been a good change, but I changed my mind. Yeah, I prefer the French.
It's like if you've ever had an apartment where the landlord sells the building and you're not like super happy about having to pay rent every month and like your money feels like it's just going down the drain. But it's like you like your landlord. Sometimes they let you pay late without like a fee or anything. You're down on your luck and they're understanding. They're an individual. You can chat with them. They're cool. And then they sell it to some like big organization and everything just goes to shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this was. They're like, well, we like the French. They talk weird.
Like them.
I don't know why I'm suddenly doing French again for like natives, but that wasn't really meant to. Anyway, this led to a united group of tribes to rage against the British in May of 1763 in what would be called Pontiac's Rebellion, named for the Ottawa tribe leader. And
Wonderful.
again, as is their custom, they're nothing if not consistent. The British started off losing pretty handily. They lost eight forts to the natives, but managed to rally again to quell the uprising. They would enter into peace negotiations that would last for 2 years. Which
2 years is so long.
Yeah, I had the same reaction when I read that, and I looked up another like source just to be sure, because I'm like, even by communication standards back then, like 2 years seems like a lot.
That is a long time.
I mean,
damn.
2 years of just, and I didn't look into the details of like how often they would like go back and forth or when they would meet up or whatever, but still 2 years. But it kind of makes sense because they never really calmed down. Fighting would break out again after this 2 years. However, the British would employ one of the first recorded moments of truly atrocious genocidal tendencies they offered natives blankets as a, quote, gift. Sort of not really a ceasefire.
Smallpox blankets?
They are, in fact, the blankets that were infected with smallpox. And from what I've found, not the only time that they've done it, but this is the first time. So, great legacy. Cool.
I love it.
Well, and for anyone who's looked into this even a little bit, the biggest part is that it wasn't just that it was a sneaky way of doing away with their opposition, like fighters. It would slowly spread through North American tribes across the entire continent, wiping out vast numbers of all tribes. So it's not just that like this was a sneaky way to get rid of this one group that they're fighting.
It killed a lot of people.
And that's why genocide fits the bill here. Like they maybe weren't even intending to do that, but that was the result regardless. I mean, it's truly fucked up.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. To my knowledge, Samuel Whittemore wasn't part of that, But he would again take up his saber and musket to fight the natives for King George again. It was during this time, in a heated close quarters fight, he had to resort to hand combat. And whether he was out of ammunition or his equipment failed to function is unknown. But he emerged from the scrap carrying two beautifully ornate dueling pistols. The opposing officer who owned the pistols was said to again have, quote, died suddenly. So everywhere he goes...
Suddenly, because I stabbed him.
Yeah. Boy, what happened to this, Samuel? You dropped your rifle? What, you pulled out your sword, then you came out from behind that tree and you had two pistols. Where'd you get those? Oh, it's the funniest fucking thing, guys. They just keep dying.
He just died suddenly.
And they have all these cool things. Yeah. In a strange twist, King George issued the Royal Proclamation of 1763, meant to protect the native population. So after all this genocide, this required colonists to settle on lands, to not settle on lands west of the Appalachians. And this angered the colonists, as the Iron Act had. So it's yet another step towards revolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, we get to the famous Stamp Act, which compounded all of those frustrations. It was taxation levied on American colonists directly from British Parliament. It was enacted in an attempt for Britain to climb out of debt resulting from the preceding 7 Years' War. This, of course, raised the almost infamous American battle cry of no taxation without representation, as the colonists saw this as unconstitutional. What a lot of people may not know, however, including myself, I know I took history classes, I don't remember quite all these details, but it was also led to British authorities convicting violators without a jury. So not only were they being taxed against their will, they were having due process revoked, and that's going to piss some people off.
Yeah. I didn't realize they had done that either.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised. I didn't realize how significant the Stamp Act actually was. And I also didn't realize the significance of it being a direct tax rather than like a local tax. So it wasn't something worked out between like the crown and local magistrates, and they were like, we're going to do so much on this and you guys will just tax it there and whatever. But it even involved like royal or officers of the royal court. So it was new people coming into the area and saying, you have to pay for this. And so it was on apparently, well, and I don't know why I thought it was on a stamp, but it was for like anything. A tax collector would come for any kind of like printed material, including deeds, wills, newspapers, and even playing cards.
That is why people would put marriage licenses on like shovels, because it wasn't paper and it wasn't like written, technically.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
That's kind of, I never realized that. That's kind of brilliant now that you mention it. Huh. Well, be damned.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it spread, it like led to more widespread awareness of the taxation because they were fucking taxing everything. And even more ire at the crown. And this would, of course, lead to the Revolutionary War. And it's weird to think that Britain may have been able to avoid an uprising if they just, not even like if they didn't levy the taxes, if they just taxed differently.
Yeah.
And of course, giving people a jury of their peers. But they didn't. And here we are.
They did not do that. And here we are today.
Yeah. Although Parliament did repeal the act the next year in 1766, the seeds of dissent had already been sown. As part of a committee to air grievances to representatives of the crown, Whittemore was actually elected to a seat of said committee. This would begin a sort of dalliance that he would have with politics for the next decade. He didn't really rise to any real prominence or any like specific role, but he would be found like speaking for the people in various times.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and during this time, the Tea Act would be announced and the Boston Tea Party would be held. Pretty much starting the revolution. He may have even held company of with men with the likes of Dr. Joseph Warren, Josiah Quincy Jr., James Otis Jr., and one Samuel Adams. Thank you for the beer, sir. It's very good. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't I don't think he created the beer, but I think they did
It's-
brew beer.
I think they did. I'm not 100% sure, though.
I'm not. I'm going to go with it. It's not known if Whitmore was a committee member, like amongst them, but history shows that his voice would have been undoubtedly formidable if he were among them. In fact, years prior, he proved his mental mettle in debate. Uh-oh, I just fucked up my page.
Oh, no.
I hit a button, and that was a mistake. There we are.
It happens.
It is. He would prove his mettle in debate was just as capable as it was in battle when a man named John Vassall sued him for defamation. The good Mr. Vassall had been in a heated political race for the position of selectman for Cambridge. Whatever the hell that was, I did not
I don't know what that is.
My favorite part is that at some point, there was a bit on the Man Show in like 99 or something where they did they were just trying to like make fun of people not paying attention to politics or something, and they went around doing like a door-to-door like camera bit about him running for district selectman, and it was just such a perfectly generic name that it's like, oh yeah, people won't even give a shit about what it is. They'll just be like, they'll either like you or not. Yeah. And so I had a little bit of a chuckle when I read this, and I'm like, wait, selectman was an actual thing at one time? I'm like,
that was a real job?
That is just how boring people were. Like that, I am going to be the selectman.
Yeah.
Yes. Vassall did manage to secure the office, but was apparently hurt greatly when later he was loudly declared by Whitmore to be, quote, unfit for said trust and was no more fit than the horse that he, Samuel, rode in on. Which may or may not be the origin of that. Yeah, especially for back then. You are no more fit than my horse. Vassall was so hurt, in fact, he had Whitmore promptly jailed and brought a lawsuit against him, stating the harsh words had brought him to be, quote, in great contempt and much despised by the king's subjects, as well as by inhabitants of the town. Unfortunately yeah, he's not wrong. People are, gave him it was defamation. Unfortunately for Vassall, the court was not convinced that Whitmore had done any harm to his standing, and Whitmore actually won his freedom in a heated trial while acting as his own attorney.
Okay. The one time it works.
Exactly. That's what I love about the story. Is just like, wait a minute. So usually that's set up as like right before a punchline of obviously they're an idiot because they decided to defend themselves.
Yeah.
But he freaking wins, and after that victory, he launches a countersuit to Vassall, arguing his imprisonment to be unjust and causing him undue harm. So like him being him being imprisoned prevented him from running his businesses, doing whatever he does, farming. So it's I won my right to not be jailed in court, but you had already jailed me, so that's bullshit. I'm going to sue your ass. The court ends up agreeing with Whitmore and awards him the equivalent of $6,000. So he gets jailed for calling this dude a douchebag and ends up getting $6,000. Which is
cool. Yeah. Cool.
So how does that make you feel about our boy Sammy?
I would say I feel like he's got a lot going for him. Yeah,
he's a hell of a fighter, both with weapons and words.
Yes, and I appreciate all of it.
Me too. He had lived such a long life fighting for his king, but after Pontiac's war, Whitmore had returned home and tended to his endless chores on the farm. He also became interested in the prospect of the 13 colonies gaining independence from Britain. He believed that his descendants should have their own country, be able to enact their own laws, and not be subject to the whims of a distant king and government. So even though he had spent his life fighting for the king, like, obviously many colonists, he became disillusioned and was like, I want to have my own country now.
I don't want to deal with this bullshit.
Now, the next part I was debating about how to present, because there's an official account, but I wanted to put it into my own words. But reading certain articles and even going back and listening to the dollop, I heard how much of this part he actually used directly from this thing. So I figured I would read it as it was presented in the original document. This is by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts telling his final story as they recorded it officially.
All right.
Yeah, so the following is an excerpt modified in certain parts just for better flow. I removed certain things because it kind of goes back and forth. Anyways, this is from the official proclamation of 2005, officially naming Samuel Whittemore as the state hero of Massachusetts. Which I also didn't know was a thing.
But I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, as we learned in the Delphi update episode last time, states can name pretty much anything they want. So, much like Indiana having a state drink of water, the state hero of Massachusetts is none other than Samuel Whittemore.
Ooh.
So, on April 19th, 1775, approximately 1,800 British troops marched from Boston to Concord to capture a reported store of colonial munitions and hopefully bag such advocates of rebellion as John Hancock and Sam Adams. He pops up again. Yep. At Lexington Green, they were confronted by about 50 haphazardly garbed militiamen carrying a variety of weapons and some decades old, some manufactured by village blacksmiths and gunsmiths, some as modern as the guns carried by the redcoats themselves, but they were all in working order and capable of killing. When ordered to disperse, the Minutemen did not obey, and firing began that resulted in 8 Americans killed. The rest very hastily left the scene as ordered by their officers. The British then reformed their ranks and continued marching to Concord. On their arrival in Concord, where alerted citizens watched their every move, the British troops searched for but did not locate any of the munitions, which were cleverly concealed in a variety of ingenious hiding places. Hancock and Adams were already miles away, fully aware of the British column, thanks to Paul Revere and his assistants. Learning that the Minutemen were swarming toward them from as far away as Worcester, and realizing that the munitions were too well secreted to be found without a lengthy search, the British began an orderly retreat toward Boston. Soon, guerrilla bands were firing from the woods and stone walls at their beleaguered marching troops. As British casualties increased, their ranks became somewhat disorganized. The Americans then struck even harder at their hated red-coated foes. While all that excitement was going on, an 80-year-old farmer, one Samuel Whittemore, was placidly working in his fields at Menotomy, now Arlington, Massachusetts. He knew nothing of the British invasion or the deaths at Lexington. Whittemore somehow learned about the British action, though, at Lexington on April 19th, probably from the sound of distant gunfire that alerted him as an aged warrior, and he immediately stopped working and hastened to his house. There, before the eyes of his astonished family, Sam methodically loaded his musket and both of his famed dueling pistols, put his powder and ball inside his worn, well-traveled military knapsack, strapped his French saber around his waist, squared his grizzled jaw, and as he strode briskly out the door, simply informed his worried family that he was, quote, going to fight the British regulars, told them to remain safely indoors until he returned. Whittemore walked to a secluded position behind a stone wall on Mystic Street near the corner of what is now Chestnut Street in Arlington, and calmly settled in. Some of the Minutemen pleaded with Whittemore to join them in their safer positions, but he ignored their admonitions. Soon the 47th Regiment of Foot, followed by the main body of British troops, appeared in view. On both sides of Whittemore, Minutemen were shooting at the approaching redcoats, and then sprinting away where they could reload in safety. But not Samuel. No, not Samuel. Waiting until the regiment was almost upon him, Whittemore stood up, aimed his musket carefully, and fired, killing a British soldier right on the spot. He then dropped the musket, because of course now it's effectively worthless. He's standing in front of an entire regiment that they take a long time to reload. He doesn't have time to... Anyways. Yeah. He drew his pair of dueling pistols, firing into the crowd of men, hitting 2 targets, killing 1 man outright and mortally wounding another.
Ooh.
Of course, not having time to reload his cumbersome weapons, he grabs his French saber and begins flailing away at the cursing and enraged redcoats who now surrounded him. So he takes on...
He is like just not stopping.
Yeah! He doesn't care! He doesn't shit! Some of those infuriated soldiers were probably less than 1/4 his age.
Oh, man.
Is he now?
He's just an old man just like coming out from nowhere and being like, fuck you.
you care to take a guess at how old he is at this point?
I said he was 80 something earlier, so I'm gonna guess 83.
He was 80.
Oh, just 80. Okay.
Yeah. They were soldiers were probably less than 1/4 his age. Few, if any, were even half his age. One Englishman fired his brown bess almost point blank into Whitmore's face, the heavy bullet tearing half his cheek away and knocking him flat on his back. Undaunted, Whitmore attempted to rise and continue the fight, but received no... I can just imagine that, if one of your dudes shot a guy in the face, and he didn't just instantly die... I can't imagine how I would react. Even if I was surrounded by other men, I would be freaking the fuck out. But they apparently
would be what?
Yeah, be like fucking Terminator or a zombie. It's like the guy just won't fucking die.
He doesn't stop.
He doesn't sleep. He doesn't eat. He absolutely will not stop. What?
Damn, that is... Gabriel just got home, so the dog's gonna bark for a hot minute because she has to protect this house, and I'll be damned if she doesn't.
From the people from the people that she knows.
Yes, she must protect herself from Gabriel.
Our little dog Thanos does the same thing. No matter what sound it is, he's like, danger, danger,
danger. I mean, if they just needed a dog to protect them from Samuel Whittemore at this point, maybe that would have alerted them. But it's too damn late.
Yeah, if they had something that could attack him while he was prone on the ground after being shot in the face, tearing away half his cheek. Oh, God.
Oh.
So he attempts to...
him down.
No, he attempts to rise... Well, okay, something keeps him down. He attempts to rise and continue the fight and receives no less than 13 bayonet wounds from the vengeful redcoats.
Ooh.
He also mercilessly clubbed his bleeding head and drove their musket butts into his body as they ran by. So they're now retreating from an old man they are so terrified of that they're stabbing and beating to death as they run.
They're so afraid of this old man.
And how would you not be? He kills 3 dudes in 10 seconds and then pulls his sword and just goes at them. When the last British soldier had left the scene and was far enough away for them to come out in safety, the villagers who had seen Whitmore's last stand walked slowly toward the body. I mean, obviously they want to see what's left of this guy and his remains. He's probably just a puddle. To their astonishment, he was still alive and conscious and still full of fight. Ignoring his wounds, he was feebly trying to load his musket for a parting shot at the retreating regiment. A door was used as a makeshift stretcher, and Whitmore was carried to the nearby Cooper Tavern. Dr. Nathaniel Tufts of Medford stripped away Sam's torn, bloody clothes and was aghast at his many gaping bayonet wounds. Numerous bruises and lacerations and his horrible facial injury. According to every medical text he had ever studied and all of his years of experience treating injured people, the old man was going to bleed to death from internal injuries. Tufts sadly remarked that it was useless to even dress so many wounds, since Whitmore could not possibly survive for very long. The deep bayonet thrusts must have pierced many of his vital organs. The horrified bystanders, however, pleaded with him and persuaded the reluctant doctor to do his best, and he bandaged up Whitmore. He did what he could with the frightful facial wound in an age when plastic surgery wasn't even a thing. It was unknown to them at the time. When the bandaging was finally finished, old Sam was tenderly carried back to his home to die surrounded by his grieving family. But to the surprise of everyone, indomitable Captain Samuel Whittemore lived on. He continued.
What?
He continued. He continued active for the next 18 years, finally dying on February 3rd, 1793.
98.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And very proud he had done his part and more in America's fight for independence. When asked, right?
Okay.
Those fucking guys, which I still think is hilarious because he was a redcoat. He fought for the British so many times. And it just came down to like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm gonna fight for my own land and my own country. I'm not talking like you motherfuckers no more. I'm gonna talk like an American. We're still figuring out what that sounds like. I'm kind of doing multiple accents.
Wow.
Now I feel like I'm from Georgia.
Oh, Lord.
When asked if he ever regretted his heroic deed, which had left him so disfigured and somewhat like... Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. The answer is no.
He would proudly reply in ringing tones, "No! I would take the same chance again!" One might question Captain Whitmore's tactical military skill and his judgment in his last battle, but certainly not his sheer courage and bravery. As a young man, Sam built his own home, which he and his wife Elizabeth filled with 3 sons and 5 daughters, so that's just how it was back then. The Whitmore home still exists on Massachusetts Avenue in Arlington.
Wow.
Someday, I'm gonna go visit it.
Someday. Somehow.
Yeah, that's a song, I think. So that is the story of Samuel Whittemore.
Wow.
He's a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
He would not fucking die. He's basically Doctor Who.
Yeah. I mean, to have something like that where, like, literally everyone's like, yeah, no, like, you're gonna die from this. Like, there's literally nothing we can do to help you. Mm-hmm. For him to then live another 18 years.
Yeah. And I don't mean to badmouth Hugh Glass, but when you compare the 2 stories, ultimately Hugh's act of, like, badassery amounts to surviving being mauled by a bear and then crawling, admittedly a lot, because he ends up crawling and walking like 400 miles or something.
Yeah, and to be fair, most people today do not survive being attacked by bears.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not trying to say that is by any means not an achievement. And he was effectively dead for like a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude gets shot in the face, stabbed over at least 13 times, and still tries to reload his musket. And that's after being already in multiple wars.
Yeah.
Which I don't mean to stress again, when he, as far as we know, when he started fighting, when he became a private for the first time, he was already near 50. So he was
not a spring chicken.
No. Again, this is a time when people lived to be, I don't know, like the life expectancy was 50.
So low. It was so low.
And at what it would effectively be anyone else's end of days, he starts being a soldier.
Like, I think it's time to start my military career right about now.
Oh, God. It's
and
so
it
good.
seemed to have served him well.
Abso-goddamn-lutely. I hope I did the story justice.
I thought it was good.
Well, thank you. I can't stress enough. The Dollops presentation of it is excellent. So if anyone, if by some amazing chance there's someone listening to this who hasn't listened to the Dollop, I highly recommend that episode in particular, episode number 41, Samuel Whittemore. Theirs is a little shorter. It's only about 35 or 40 minutes. It's very good. Go listen to it. It's excellent.
Yes. They do have a wonderful podcast, so
they do.
I would suggest them in general.
With that, what would you say are your ratings for the pairings?
Ooh, man. I really like the beer. I like it more than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give that about a 9. And just because I did not get to have the tart with its full bacony goodness, I'm going to give it an 8. Because I feel like the bacon is what is going to take that up to like a 10.
I couldn't agree more. I'm actually interested in trying it with slices of apples now. Because that
maybe do it without the onion.
Oh yeah, did you? I can't remember now. Did you use the onion?
I did still use the onion.
Okay. I mean,
so it had like a touch of savory.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. As a matter of fact, they just opened a new. Well, I say just, but it's been like since June or something. But there's a burger place here in Eau Claire, where that is literally all they do. When you go to this burger place, you're thinking like, oh, they're gonna have like all these appetizers, they're gonna have wings, they're gonna have steaks, and just nachos and shit. It is literally
Only
a,
burgers.
like not even a one-page menu. They have 3 things on the menu, 2 different kinds of burgers and fries. That's it. And the first time we went, I was like, I don't know, that seems, but I don't know if you've ever been to a Raising Cane's. Their menu is very similar. It's chicken strips, it's bread, and it's sauce. They also have coleslaw and
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, like, that if a restaurant, especially a restaurant like Cane's that is a now like national chain, if they have that small of a menu, it has to be really good because like they have to do one thing.
You have to
really
do
well.
one thing really well, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, this burger place, they do have one additional thing on the menu. Every month they do a sort of Bob's Burger style specialty burger.
Oh, okay.
And the one for October was it was something like a sesame sauce burger with sour apple slices on the bottom.
Oh.
And we went as a group, and me and one of Lily's friends, Brandy, we were both like, it has apple in it? And like, yeah, and there's lettuce and tomato if you want, but there's like this special sauce on the top, and then there's these little really thinly sliced apple slices, and we got it. And I can't stress enough, probably the best burger I've ever had in my entire life. It was unbelievable. Okay. So if you ever happen to go to a place where they have an apple burger sort of thing, give it a try. Really good. So I think I might actually have to do that and I might go with the sauteed onions and give the apple a taste. What kind of apple did you use, by the way? Was it green or red?
No, it was red. It was a red apple, but I could not tell you what type of red apple because I don't know what Gabriel bought.
Was it kind of rounder, like round more than tall?
Yeah, it's
a little bit of green.
Smaller.
Okay.
They were red with like maybe a touch of yellow.
Okay. Yeah, and that's pretty good flavor apple. If it's what I'm thinking of, it's either like a Honey Crisp or a
something like that.
Something like that. Either way. All I'm saying is
it was good.
Expand your horizons, try something new. You never know. I am going to give the beer a 7 only because my favorite really has become the Nitro Milk Stout, the left-hand Nitro Milk Stout, and that will forever be an 11 for me. I just can't in good conscience give anything close to that if it's not you know what, I'm going to say 8 actually. This because kind of what you said, it's better than I thought it was going to be, especially with having tried it in the past. And so I'll give it an 8. Again, I hate you because this treat was so good. It's easily a 10. And there is something about because this beer too is a little hoppy. It's a lager, but it's nowhere near an IPA because I'm not a fan of IPAs. But there's something about the kind of extra almost tartness, which is great because what we're eating is a tart. There's just a little extra, slightly bitteriness, slightly souriness that just is complemented perfectly by the savory, like, I don't even know, creaminess of the tart with the cream cheese and the... So yeah, I hate you because it's so goddamn good. So the pair together is easily a 10. I loved it so much.
It's a good pairing. And to be fair, I was not entirely sure by which you meant Captain Samuel Whittemore. I 100% was thinking pirate ship. Not sure why, just was like, yeah, pirate ship captain. Like that's what the story's gonna be. But I really enjoyed it.
Sorry, I had to have another bite. I still have some here. It's great. I did forget that like one of the big flip sides of telling the story, which totally makes sense why like you would have yours prior to this. You don't really have a whole lot of time to enjoy the treat.
Yeah, that's usually why I eat it beforehand. So then like I get to try it and like really think about the flavors. Because
Yeah.
otherwise I feel like I'm talking so much that I can't quite eat
Yeah,
while I'm doing it.
it is kind of weird. A year in, you have this shit figured out. I have just been so lucky to sit here and just like banter back and forth and just have a good time. It's a lot more work on this side, so I commend you.
It is, but
not
it's
easy.
still fun.
It is fun. Well, and I'm glad I got to tell this story.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we're here. There again, I mean, I owe it all to you. I've tried doing a couple podcasts in the past, and we literally didn't even get into double digits. So to make it
Look
a
at
whole
us
year
now.
yeah,
Look
we're
at me
here. We
now.
made it.
We
Is that it?
have, and I'm excited to see what is in store for us in the future.
Yeah,
It'll be wonderful.
It's gonna be exciting. We'll have some announcements to be made at another time. So I was gonna make a whole thing. We'll do like a little short thing at some point. Just make a little announcement deal or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I should have thought about that prior to this. Anyway.
Anyway.
So if you have been with us on this journey, we really thank you a lot. If you want to send us any suggestions for stories or treats, please email us at peculiarpairingspod@gmail.com, and you can message us or tweet at us on Twitter at peculiarpairpod, and check us out on Instagram at peculiarpairingspod. You can also look us up on Patreon.
Yes. You can message us just about anywhere. One of us will answer. Which one will be the mystery?
Yeah.
Most likely me.
We'll find out. I was going to say it's probably you.
It'll probably be me.
I occasionally look at stuff. I haven't been doing that very well.
You know. It is fun, and I think that is it for us today.
Yeah, we did it. 1 year. Woo!
Woo!
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
We will. Goodbye, listeners.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.